Do you know where you are standing right now?
In front of the Ascalon Club, I presume.
The Ascalon Club only summons or ostracizes. What is your business tonight?
I received an invitation. I'm Dr. Jonathan Reid.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reid. Please proceed. Lord Redgrave is waiting on you upstairs.
Nice. They had a little party going on here already. Okay, before he moves
There has
away...
been quite a battle here.
Yeah. I want to talk to him, alright?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then.
I'm sure the Ascalon Club has the money to replace the furniture.
Okay, we can't talk to him.
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, then, Dr. Reid.
Fair enough. Okay. Let's check out the place here. Oh. My parties usually don't look like that. Just saying. What is his name? Arthur Pembleton. I hope he doesn't mind that we're actually stealing the money. Nice, cool. Look at that. You take it back, I'm not the messy biter. Yeah, like... What else is there to say? They should have at least cleaned up for us, right? I mean, we're of ancient vampire bloodline, alright? And this is what we have to see. Ay, ay, ay. Oh yeah, sure, let's take that letter away. Right. History and purpose of the Ascalon Club. The Ascalon Club is an association of gentlemen secretly aiming for the protection of the crown's interests. I founded it in 1837 to honor and perpetuate the legacy of my maker William Marshall, 1st Earl of Pembroke and true protector of England. All the members of the club must be of good extraction and flawless moral fiber, since the club accepts mortal members who will be duly observed and valued as proper candidates for immortality. The goal of the club is to impose respectable traditions and behaviors amongst the good vampire society, but also to promote and expand the imperial hegemony of England. We are the true elite of British society. We are Ascalon, the holy lands held by Saint George, protector of England, when the saint slew the dragon. As lands bearers ourselves, we vow to defend the Empire's interests. From the Law of Ascalon by Lord Redgrave, the founder. Instead of stamps, we're collecting other people's letters and diaries. Yeah. Yeah. Tends to be more interesting. Okay, we can't go there. Undead adds something. Money, drugs, other stuff like grease, springs, empty bottles, other stuff, weapons, ammunition. Yeah. Yeah. That's exactly what we do. Oh. A good dagger. Blood absorption. A strong but small knife mainly used to pierce and rip open the opponent. Oh, it is. Ah, so it is level 3 already. That's crazy. Okay, blood absorption. Blood absorption. Absorb blood points. Well, I guess this could absorb a lot of blood. But we do have... Ah, okay, we have Giselle's dagger. Okay.
I cannot enter.
Yes, we also have like a notebook where we collect all the other letters and notes. Yeah. Okay. They have some pretty impressive stuff here. I don't know. I have to say it's a pretty empty club. If there's just like the butler outside and only the leader, like the founder, Redgrave in here, plus ourselves. Oh, key of the Ascalon Club's basement. For members only. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Hell yeah. Let's do that. That'll be nice. Okay, Lord Hutchinson, Lord Finlay, unknown, Lord Hammersley, Lord Sheffield. Okay, okay. It was emptied of people. Nah, I rather think like people tried to invade this place and, well, badly failed. That's what I assume. Okay, can we enter this? Nice. Yeah, let's check out the basement. Who wouldn't do that, right? Of the recreational use of blood. As Ascalon members, we always tend to respect etiquette. We are, and always, members of the good society, sometimes recognized as public figures. We do not find our delight in orgies and bloodbath, like our adversaries assert we do. And if one of us were caught in such caricatured and immoral acts, he would receive the appropriate opprobrium. But what about the blood? What about its recreational use? How could we deny the ecstasy the vermilion ambrosia brings us? And with what else could we toast with, as any good fraternity should? To answer this delicate question, the law of conduct inside the club goes as follows. As long as the original mortal vessel is not brought inside our walls, each member is allowed to drink whatever he wants for his own usage or to share it with friends. Drink what you want, deal the way you want with the original vessel, but never inside the club, unless I personally authorize it on some special occasion, of course. From the Law of Ascalon by Lord Redgrave. Okay. That could be interesting, that could be interesting whenever we will talk to him, right? He may offer us some blood, and then we're gonna say like, no, not in the club. Oh my god, that's a rule. And then he's gonna be like, wow, okay, he's club material. Nice. Something like that.
It's locked, all right.
Okay, so I really gotta come from this side then. Well, well. Let's make a cool entry, shall we?
Good evening.
My good friends, if I may have your attention. Behold our visitor, the good Dr. Reid. Newborn of blood so pure and strong that even my friend Fergal Bansher was no match for him.
Here, here, here.
Come forward, young Ekon, for we have so much to discuss. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. I am Lord Redgrave, Earl of Bristol and chairman of this exclusive association.
Lord Redgrave.
At last we meet. I've been eager to make your acquaintance. I've heard some astounding things about you. Please accept my condolences for your loss, Dr. Reid.
Thank you, my lord. Lady Ashbury expressed your wish to meet me.
Yes. The lady has always been a useful acquaintance, though not always reliable. Is she a good friend of yours?
Damn. Oh god, this is already a very important question here. She's strong, so I feel like she can defend herself whenever something would go wrong. But if we actually say that we admire her or that she would be a close friend, we would give him a point of weakness, right? So, oh well, she's just a woman, and yeah, she has proven useful, right? Let's play it cool.
She has proved to be helpful on many occasions.
The centuries have taught me never to trust a woman completely, especially if she is a mortal. Too prone to emotions, if you ask me. Too fickle when it comes to important decisions.
My lord, do not expect me to speak ill of Lady Ashbury.
Of course not, and I praise your loyalty. Would you offer the same fidelity to the Empire?
What do you mean?
I speak of the Skull Plague that threatens London and the country. You have been on the front line in the East End, but the time has come to open up a second front here.
The epidemic has escaped the quarantine. You have new cases of the outbreak.
We don't know for certain, but we cannot allow the disease to threaten the prominent heads of Great Britain.
Okay. Yeah, I did. I did. Okay. Well, why me is that's too obvious. So why now? Or should we be like pushing? Let's prove. Yeah, let's prove worthy. All right. Let's push.
Why are you suddenly so friendly? The last time I met one of yours, he tried to kill me.
Are you referring to Fergal? He was the most useful of servants, but he was just a servant. You, on the other hand, Doctor, proved yourself much more worthy.
You want me to find possible sources of the outbreak in the West End? Is that it?
Ah, straight to the point, like all eager newborns. We shall have time to talk about all this, Dr. Reid, but first, I should like to get to know you better.
Talk? Is that the only reason you asked me here?
Well, no. I also wanted to meet the intriguing Ekon who made such a powerful progeny of his sister. You have not learned the name of your maker, am I correct?
We should not threaten him, because he's kind of okay. We don't want to push it too far. Let's just say, no, we don't know the name.
No, I haven't.
Have no embarrassment, Dr. Reid. We all make mistakes. But whatever your lineage, you are definitely Ascalon material.
What do you mean?
I would like you to become a member of the Ascalon Club, and to serve me as such.
I have questions first.
Before I accept, I have so many questions.
Please ask.
What does it mean to be a member of the Ascalon Club?
It means that you swear to protect the interests of the Crown, that you become a loyal servant of the British Empire.
Do you have any official recognition from the government? A charter from His Majesty the King?
No. Of course, the Ascalon Club publicly supports the Empire, but the true nature of its members remains a secret.
Am I supposed to follow orders?
As founder and chairman of the club, I alone am entitled to make demands of our members, and I do appreciate obedience.
What is the Ascalon Club's express purpose?
We follow the credo of William Marshall, the greatest knight who ever lived. As was he, we are sworn to protect the British Empire.
What does Ascalon mean?
Ascalon was the lance wielded by St. George, glorious patron saint of England when he slew the dragon. And like that lance, we pierce the hearts of all our nation's enemies.
Okay. Very poetic.
William Marshall founded the Ascalon Club.
Not exactly. William Marshall granted me immortality, and I founded the club a few years later. The good knight has been gone for so long.
I killed Fergal, who claimed to be one of yours, sent to cleanse the East End of all Skulls. Will his death be an issue?
Do not worry. My priorities have changed. Fergal was a zealous servant of mine, but like any servant, he had his limitations and is readily replaced if necessary.
Oh well, it's nothing. You kill one of us, that's cool. Right, well, we have others. Oh my. I think we have no choice. Well, we have no choice, but yeah, we have no choice.
I agree to join the club.
This is good news. Good news indeed in these crucial times. Let's inform the Assembly formally and proceed with your initiation.
My initiation?
Fear not. Nothing fancy nor dangerous. It is just that we, the members of Ascalon, believe that tradition and custom are the backbone of this country. My fellow members, dear friends, please gather and welcome this Ekon as one of our own.
Is he worthy? Is his blood pure?
Well, speak, Dr. Reid, in front of the most sacred blood. The blood of our beloved William Marshall. Speak now. Will you serve and protect the crown as he did?
Yes, I will.
Then, young Ekon, it is time to testify with your blood. It is time to sign the Book of Allegiance. I know it's awfully gothic and a tad pedantic, but England's traditions are the backbone of our nation. Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. Take your place among the bearers of the lance.
One of us! One of us!
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign econs. This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
I was chased by a gigantic Valcod 2 nights ago. I thought it was Fergal coming back, but no. That creature barely spoke English.
I doubt that was a good idea. But yeah, decisions were made. Let's talk to the other guys here first before we actually go to talk to Lord Redgrave again.
Good evening, Dr. Reid. How does it feel to be this evening's centerpiece? Figuratively.
To be the centerpiece? Well, we feel uneasy.
It's quite unsettling. As a doctor, I am more used to being the observer than the subject observed.
Do not be alarmed. The Ascalon Club has a tried and tested policy for choosing its initiates.
May I ask who you are, sir?
Why would you be interested?
Well, as you seem to be the only man in the room with a beating heart, you draw quite a bit of attention yourself.
Ah, vampire senses never cease to fascinate me. They dwarf those of mere mortals. I am Aloysius Dawson, by the way.
Aloysius Dawson, are you? Yeah, you are the pillar of this community. Okay, nice. And yeah, he is famous, right? Isn't he like controlling this big company?
Are you a member of the club?
Yes, I am. And I have been for many years. And will be until the day I die.
What can you tell me about it?
It's not really my place to give you such information. I am merely a mortal member, and a dying one at that.
Are you sick?
Personally, I consider my advancing years are a sickness in itself. My body is slowly abandoning me, Dr. Reid.
Yeah. Dawson was the family who testamented the warehouse to Sean Hampton. Yeah.
Are you not afraid? You are surrounded by vampires.
Sir, it's for that very reason that I joined the club in the first place.
Is not the nature of this club a secret shared by only a privileged few?
My dear Dr. Reid, I have spent years and a fortune precisely to gather that kind of information.
So you asked for membership?
I have been a member of many clubs in many countries. But I must admit, this one is my favorite.
What can you tell me about Lord Redgrave?
I would not dare speak of our chairman without his consent.
No wonder.
Mr. Dawson, of Dawson and Dawson. The wealthiest man in England. It is a pleasure to meet such a prominent figure of London.
A withering London figurehead, to be precise.
Are you sick, Mr. Dawson? I am a doctor, you know.
My case is beyond the scope of traditional medicine. I have spent fortunes on the world's most competent doctors to arrive at that diagnostic conclusion.
I'm sorry to hear that, sir. Should I suppose that you're here in search of some form of immortality?
Absolutely not. I'm here to implement my plan to save the city I was born in. To cast out the ghastly evil that has us all on our knees.
What do you know about the Guard of Priwen?
I should not say this, but I admire their commitment. This is what the nation needs right now.
But they are our enemies.
They are not mine, Dr. Reid.
Would you help them?
No. There is a time for such methods. But brute force will not be enough to fight this plague. We have to think differently.
What is the situation like in this part of town?
I am sure Lord Redgrave will enlighten you more effectively than I.
Money cannot solve every problem. This mysterious epidemic is going to require more than money can buy.
You're right. Money is nothing unless one has the will to wield it. I have a plan, sir. A radical one that will save all that is essential in London.
What is your plan, then?
Quarantine and barricades are futile. What we need is a wall. A formidable, unscalable wall to isolate the deserving from the infected masses.
This is an outrage. We shall chase these intruders down.
Okay. Would that be efficient? I don't know. Would it be dangerous? I don't know that either. Would it be unfair? Yeah. For only the wealthy folks can use this. Maybe he will give us a bit more information about this if we push him a bit and say it's unfair. Let's see.
But that would segregate the rich from the poor, would it not? It would be unjust.
Our only course of action must be to save England. And to save England, we have to make sacrifices.
Are you not mistaking sacrifice for summary execution?
Why do you care? Are you not a vampire? Removed from all mortal concerns? Decisiveness is what the city needs, and it needs it now.
I'm sure you have more important things to do than talking with an old man like myself.
Lord Redgrave is outside almost every night coordinating our defenses. Such an example.
Can I talk to those?
Lord Redgrave can play with the brave all he wants, but I won't put a foot outside until the
Doesn't
pre-went
seem
in
like
their
it.
hand.
Okay. What about you two? Nope.
That went well, did it not? It is always useful to bolster the troops' morale, especially before a difficult battle.
You have the makings of a general, my lord.
I was, though very long ago. Well, not quite a general, but a proud defender of the crown.
So why did you really want to meet me?
Straight to the point again, young Ekon. All right, let's talk, you and I, Lance Parra.
I'm listening, my lord.
According to my spies, you have worked with Dr. Edgar Swansea on the epidemic, and your findings were quite alarming.
Shit.
Do you know Edgar Swansea?
Not personally, but I've been told he has some sort of immortal fetish and is a good friend of yours.
Does it bother you that I consider him my good friend?
As long as you reveal nothing of the club's inner workings, why should I forbid you engaging in conversation with the good Dr. Swansea?
Okay, that's fair.
You were spying on me.
Not personally, I rarely leave this building. But once he found you, Fergal kept me informed. Until you put an end to his mission.
Well, yeah, it just happened.
Who was Fergal? I don't see him sipping tea with the others in the club.
Fergal Banshire was my squire of sorts. Even before becoming that magnificent beast, he was a brute. He served me well for decades.
No, I mean, what was he? He was clearly no ordinary vampire.
No, he was a Volcod. All muscles and instinct. Quite the rare breed. Ferociously territorial. Mortals often mistake them for werewolves.
You do know I killed him.
Yes.
Will you bear ill will towards me for his death?
Of course not. Your victory was quite impressive and courageous. You earned my respect.
Okay.
Yes, I'm convinced the recent invasion of frenzied Scals in London is directly linked to the epidemic. This is not the Spanish flu, but something else.
I would be glad to hear more of your discoveries, Dr. Reid, but for now, my main concern is the security of London's inhabitants, both mortal and immortal.
What do you mean?
Alarmed by the epidemic, the Guard of Prewen has started a war against us British vampires. To appease the situation, we must eradicate the Scals.
Oh shit. Must eradicate the Scals. That was what Fergal was trying to do, and that's why we killed him, to protect some of the Scals. And ourselves. Fuck. Some Scals are peaceful. Let's hear what he says about that, because this is very interesting.
I have met peaceful and wise Scals. To exterminate them means we are no better than vampire hunters.
Scals are hideous, shameful creatures that give all Ekon a bad name.
So, what do you want me to do?
I want you to investigate the city thoroughly. I have reason to fear there are cases of contagion in this part of town. Our absolute priority is to find and cleanse them.
And how would you like me to proceed?
By all means necessary, Dr. Reid. You are now a member of the Ascalon Club and you have carte blanche. Interrogate the locals, follow all the leads you find, and get results.
Wow.
I personally went patrolling last night in the West End, and I spotted at least 2 foreign...
Family portraits. Lord Redgrave wants me to use all my medical knowledge to pinpoint and stop all the possible sources of infection in the West End. He seems very worried that the epidemic might spread to wealthier boroughs of London, thus raising the chance of infecting Britain's elite. I will attempt to root out the cause of the infection. I believe I should start by interrogating all the local inhabitants I find, to gather all possible information about any unusual activities related to the epidemic in the vicinity.
This is an outrage. We shall.
How is your
chase these
investigation
intruders
going,
down.
Dr. Reid? Time is our enemy.
I have a few questions for your lordship.
All right, but be quick.
You made me swear on the blood of William Marshall during my initiation ceremony. Why was that?
William Marshall was the most glorious knight who ever lived. He served 5 kings, and was a living example of probity for all. And he was my maker.
William Marshall was a vampire? Is this some sort of joke? Wait. Could he be my maker?
That would be joyful news, for it would mean he still walks among us. But alas, The Great Knight has left this world for good.
Why is his blood so sacred to the Ascalon Club?
He was simply the greatest defender of the realm we have ever known. I fought by his side at the Battle of Preston, and he made me his progeny following the fight.
What can you tell me about the Great Hunt?
It's a major concern, and I'm convinced we'll only get a satisfactory conclusion by putting an end to the epidemic.
I have already met Geoffrey McCullum. I am certain he will persist until he has killed every last vampire.
The Guard's current successful recruitment campaign is driven by the ravenous behavior of the Scowls.
I see. So without the epidemic creating Scowls, the Guard could not convince anybody of our presence.
Exactly. Once we have put the epidemic behind us, we need only wait until the Guard grows old and weak. Time will once again become our ally.
Not the worst tactic.
What about the risk of a full-scale attack here? Geoffrey McCullum is a daring leader.
That is exactly why so many of our number have left the country until things improve. But not me. I founded this club. I'll die defending it.
May I ask you about the mortal who attended my initiation? Mr. Aloysius Dawson.
A member of the club does not normally ask questions about other members. We trust each other mutually.
So he really is a member, then?
Indeed. Only the most eminent members are allowed to attend such ceremonies. Even if I admit some of us fled during the first hours of the Great Hunt.
But Mr. Dawson is mortal. Are you not afraid he might reveal who you are? Especially to your enemies.
Aloysius Dawson is a man of his word, as are all of us. This is the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid. We do not grant access to the unworthy.
Fair enough.
Goodbye, Lord Redgrave.
Godspeed, Dr. Reid. We are counting on you.
Songs around the city. What is this new malevolence?
Alright.
Skulls have been spotted everywhere in London.
Well. Can we talk to him now?
Welcome to the Ascalon Club, Dr. Reid.
Okay. We might actually go back and tell Lady Ashbury of our initiation. William Marshall was an actual person. You mean as a knight?
I think Lord Redgrave just suggested I was sired by an ancient vampire.
Support the equality between men and women. Women of all countries unite.
Okay. Well, we can talk to his wife now. In the middle of the night. So why not do that?
Hello again, Venus.
Jonathan, you're still up. Can't you just knock at people's doors during the day?
Nope.
I'm sure you can spare me a few minutes. For old time's sake.
Of course you may enter, Jonathan. At least you survived the Great War. I feared the worst.
I'm only here to steal your property, alright? This is so weird.
I remember when Mary came here. It was such a
what's up here? Hmm. Oh. Fancy dress. Interesting. Hmm. Oh, we can go there.
No invitation is needed to enter this building. That can't be a good sign. No sign of a struggle. It seems Charlotte's friend knew the killer and let him in.
Oh! By this we have access to the side quest of Emily. Yeah, okay, we'll do that after we actually talk to you know... Wait, can't I just jump back? Okay. Well, let's do it again. Hopefully the door's just open now.
Hello, Venus.
Hello, Jonathan.
Okay.
When Mary came here with her husband and her son.
It's a pleasure to see you again, Venus.
So you returned from the war in one piece too. Thank God. My Clarence is back home too.
How is the old rascal?
Probably outside, chasing ghosts and chimeras. Clarence has changed a lot since he returned from the war, you know.
Hmm.
How have you been since the last time we met? How long has it been? 3 years now?
I've done my duty, like all British women. You have no idea what it was like to wait for months without knowing if I'd still be a wife or a widow.
I understand. Luckily, this part of town has been saved from the worst of the bombings, from what I've seen.
Yes, and it's also true about the epidemic. The flu has killed here too, of course, but not on such a large scale as in other parts of town.
Have you noticed anything peculiar about the neighborhood recently?
You mean except for your return to town? No. Oh, and again, Jonathan. Please accept my condolences for your sister.
Thank you, Venus. It was so sudden. And I've been so busy, I haven't spoken to anyone about it.
I wish I could have assisted at the funeral, but you know, it's been so quick. And what with the epidemic in the streets?
There's no need to apologize, my dear. It's normal, considering the circumstances.
No, it's not. I am sure that Clarence has not even thought to present you his condolences. He is too busy with his penny dreadful stories.
Why is my return so surprising?
It's more an unexpected happy end than a surprise. You and Clarence, back from the war. You have no idea how hard it's been for me.
Venus, why do you worry so much about your family's reputation?
Everyone laughs at Clarence now. And they avoid me because they believe I share his insane opinions. I'm a leper in my own community.
Tell me about Clarence's obsession with vampires.
It drives me so crazy it makes my stomach hurt. I was so relieved to have him back. But I quickly realized he'd lost his mind in France.
I understand your irritation, Venus. But you have to accept the trauma Clarence endured on the battlefield.
The question is simple, Jonathan. Is my husband mad? Yes or no? Do vampires exist? Or is Clarence a lunatic?
So you don't believe Clarence?
If poor Mary, bless her soul, had tried to convince you of the existence of bloody vampires, would you have believed her? Seriously?
The important question is, What do you really think of your husband?
I'm tough, Jonathan. He should have told me the horrors he witnessed, however appalling it was, instead of inventing a fantasy about blood-drinking monsters.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual?
The McPhersons. I heard they locked themselves in their own house.
They could just be afraid of getting sick.
Perhaps you're right. But if I were you, I'd pay them a visit. A big house, reachable through a courtyard, to the north of the railway bridge.
Okay. Goodbye for now.
We will definitely have a look at that. Alright. Let's try to find Emily.
Blood. I should follow the trail.
Why blood in the bed, though? Okay, it's leading outside. Oh yeah, okay. Wow. We are kind of overpowered now. Oh, there's a beast on the other side. Fair enough. Is this Emily? And oof. Okay, so who are you and what have you done to? This is probably Emily.
Who are you? What are you doing here?
I could ask you the same question.
I'm the Marquis de Bois-Colombes, and I strongly invite you to find your own game, sir.
I'm not here to sustain myself. I'm currently investigating the death of a young woman killed by a vampire.
A young woman killed by a vampire? Oh, you're joking, right? Oh, I do love the British sense of humor.
What the fuck?
And who exactly are you?
I am Jacques-Michel Guillaume Florimond de Marquis de Bois-Colombes, at your service,
God.
my dear cousin.
You're French, but your English is quite good.
I was born in France, sir, but I consider myself a traveler of this world. So many countries, so many tantalizing tastes.
Dear cousin, are we related?
We could be of the same blood, my dear. I tend to consider all Econs as family, don't you?
Not the ones who actually kill the girls that I want to save and find, and yeah. But yeah.
What are you doing here?
I recently decided to visit London. I've always dreamed of visiting a city on the verge of collapse. Such a delicate, yet intense spectacle.
Well...
You take pleasure from others' misery.
I have been a totally depraved and immoral creature since the day I was reborn, sir. And probably before.
What do you plan to do here?
Take pleasure. Take pictures. Enjoy the show. Have fun. Believe me, I won't be the only foreign immortal who bought a ticket to the fair.
Okay, I really like him.
I followed the trail of blood from her room to here.
Oh, you're referring to that young woman. Yes, the meeting turned messy. I'm afraid I ruined my last redingote.
So you admit you murdered her?
I admit nothing, my good sir. I only regret the blood of that girl staining my clothes. Oh, blood can be so messy.
What happened?
She wanted to become one of us. Not the first time I have received such a proposal, but I must admit her direct approach tempted me.
And then what?
The body rejected my blood. It happens, you know, sometimes even with voluntary prey. At least her gurglings brought me some fun, until the artery burst.
Your cruelty deserves punishment, sir.
And what else is new?
Okay, it is on. You can have it. You can have it. This is where his face belongs. Right deep in the ground. Oh, a leech plate, that's good. But yeah. Okay, let's go and tell her. Oh, maybe this could convince Lady Ashbury's daughter to not want to become a vampire anymore.
Women die too in this war!
Good evening, Miss Ashbury.
And good evening to you, Dr. Reid.
I'm investigating the source of the epidemic in this district. Have you noticed anything unusual recently?
A few days ago, I spotted a strange house while campaigning for women's suffrage. Awful smell. No answer when I knocked.
Where is it?
It's the Mullaney's, a nice family who live in a big house near the park in the eastern part of this neighborhood.
Your mother has refused to turn you into a vampire. Tell me more about it.
Each time we argue, Mother expresses the same fear. She wants me to remain alive and full of joy, rather than become melancholy and immortal. She claims you can't have one without the other. It's pure selfishness.
It's your mother's choice. As daughters and sons, we have to accept the decisions our parents make for us despite our own wishes.
I love my mother, and have accepted everything from her. Even that she named me Charlotte, when it was not my original name.
Does it bother you?
No. Whoever I was when I was born, I am now Charlotte Ashbury. It hurts as much as it makes me proud to know that's the name my mother will read on my tombstone.
Your mother has walked this earth for much longer than you or I. She is wise, and we should not ignore her advice when we disagree with it.
But why shouldn't I be allowed to forge my own experience? There can't be only one righteous way to deal with eternity.
Well, let's tell you about Emily soon. We'll see how you will actually think about all of this.
Why do you still hope to become a vampire, in spite of your mother's refusal?
It's the immortal aspect of vampires that interests me. The world won't improve unless women take charge. I'm convinced of that.
You're obviously a clever woman with a good education and a brilliant future. But have you thought about the price you'd have to pay? The loneliness, the necessary masquerade.
Is it not true of every high position? To change this world and make it a better place, one needs time on one's side.
Tell me, Charlotte, how do you plan to achieve eternal life, since you've obviously given it a lot of thought?
I won't give up. You have no idea how determined I am, sir. I may contract a deadly disease. I may throw myself under a carriage, just to be saved by her sweet kiss.
That's a disturbing answer, young lady. And the worst part of it is, I know you speak the truth.
There are less dangerous ways, Doctor. Instead of throwing myself under a horse like Emily Davison, I could just throw myself into your arms.
Whoa. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. I mean, she's probably becoming our stepdaughter, so no. Stop playing this game.
Stop playing this game at once, Charlotte. This is unworthy of you, of your mother, and of myself.
I'm sorry, Dr. Reid. Please forgive me. That was stupid.
Yeah, it was. And especially now that we have found Emily.
I have found out what happened to your friend, Emily.
I can handle the truth. There's no need to hide the bloody details.
Your friend was planning to become a vampire. She thought she'd met an honest one and made a deal with him. Unfortunately, Emily did not survive the process.
My mother told me many times about the risks of being turned. I often suspected she exaggerated the danger to avoid me being tempted.
No, the risk is real. Have you any idea what a body has to endure to become an organism entirely consumed by its need to process and recombine blood?
I should never have talked to Emily about vampires. I never thought she'd actually try it without me. Thank you, sir. Here, take this for your discretion.
Whoa, Charlotte steak? You gotta be kidding me. That's a level 5 stun steak. Duh. 38, 31. Oh well. Our prevent stake is still better stun damage wise. This would be for less stamina consumption though. But oh, that's... I didn't even know that was possible, that you could get like... I mean, legendary... Wow. Okay, crazy. That's crazy.
Goodbye, Charlotte. Give my best regards to your mother when you see her.
She's been quite busy these last few nights. I suspect you may see her before me.